This is not a highly edited video explaining that you need colorful, eye-catching thumbnails for a high click-through rate, that you need a cut every 2 seconds for a high average view duration, or that you need to copy someone else's ideas and put your own spin to them. Because let's face it, you've tried those things 1,000 times and they're not working. This is a practical guide on creating your ultimate video, the one video that changes it all for you, the video that blows up and creates your entire career. I used to run a game development coding channel, and the video that changed it all for me on that channel was this one. This video took me from worrying about my future every single day to big YouTubers getting in touch with me and offering me business partnerships. It took me from a small channel to one of the biggest channels in my niche in the space of a couple of weeks. It was the catalyst to me building an audience of over 100,000 subscribers, which I later leveraged to make a lot of money. This then gave me the freedom to pursue whatever ventures I wanted to, like this channel, and it allowed me to go traveling. I've recently come back from Thailand after spending 4 months there. My name is Brian, and I've posted a lot of successful videos, but also a lot of unsuccessful ones that I've learned from. I've been in the YouTube game for 3 years, and I freed myself from my 9-to-5 job just 8 months after making my first video. There's a certain intuition that YouTubers develop which allows them to make viral video after viral video, just like I did. I will instill this exact intuition into you this video. So get your notepad out. This is a practical guide to creating your ultimate video. Let's start with the idea behind the video itself. It's a popular piece of advice to just copy titles and use them as inspiration for your videos. When you do this, it might do slightly better than your average video. Let's say 20 to 30% better, but this isn't serving you at all because you don't learn anything from doing this. It pays no mind to why people actually clicked on that original video. The people that end up making something truly worthwhile on this planet make something truly unique. We don't want to just become a cheap copy of someone. We are trying to create a video that gets hundreds of times more views than your average video and literally creates your career overnight, just like a video of mine did 2 years ago. Copying ideas never teaches you the thing that you actually really need to learn: psychology. If you understand exactly what your viewer is thinking at any given moment, you will literally never make an unsuccessful video. That is why it is incredibly important to clearly define who your videos are for, and then to put yourself into the shoes of that person. Open a new Notion document and start writing about your target avatar and ask yourself these questions. What do they do during their day? What are their biggest goals? What are they most afraid of? What other people do they watch? What are they interested in? What are some secrets that they don't want the world to find out about? Spend 30 minutes per day adding to this to get your avatar as refined as possible. But for our current purposes, this will do. After you've written your notes, go to ChatGPT and ask it to create a detailed avatar description using the notes you're about to provide, and then paste all of your notes in there. ChatGPT will make your notes nice and organized, and you'll actually be surprised what it manages to pull out of that. You now have an insight into the mind of your avatar, which is incredibly valuable because the more detailed this is, the better your video ideas will be. And your video ideas are everything. Now, sit down and think of ideas and be undistracted. This is literally your highest leverage task that will make or break your entire YouTube career. Divide your monitor into 2 screens. On one screen, have the avatar description open, and on the other side, have an empty document. Read over that description and do whatever you can to bring yourself into the mind of that avatar. Play music that they might listen to if it helps, and visualize them on the YouTube homepage. What idea would capture their attention so much that they can't help but just click on it and find out more about it? And even if they end up clicking on a different video, your idea will stay in their mind so much that after that video, they end up searching your channel up and watching it. Spend a lot of time thinking of ideas, and think of as many as you can, because after you think of them, you're going to eliminate everything except the best one. So now that you have your idea, we need to move on to the video, and let's start with the title of that video. You get told to copy popular titles, but those popular titles must be popular for a reason, right? For a lot of YouTubers, they just experiment with random titles and then they find one that works really well. It's basically a fluke. But I am going to tell you how to actually find these titles. Let's use this video on my channel as a case study. This video got orders of magnitude more views than the previous 2 videos on the channel, and by looking at the title, How to Make 10k a Month Doing Literally Anything, it might seem like a fluke, but it really isn't. Notice that in the videos leading up to it, I posted a video which was titled Day in the Life on 10k a Month in Thailand. This video got twice the views of the video before it. So the next video, I posted a video about money, which confirmed that the thing that drew the viewer in originally was probably, most likely, the money part. The next video, I experimented with a slightly different angle, simplicity, a simple way to outwork literally everyone. That video did twice as well as the video about money, which told me that my audience liked simplicity and money. In that next video, I combined all of my topics and carefully picked the wording in the title. I made sure to include a lot of the words that I had in the previous 2 titles. I also made the title mostly lowercase because that's what was doing well for a lot of people in the space at the time. And in that video, I ensured that the instructions were as simple and easy to follow as possible because I learned that my audience valued simplicity. I identified what caused the videos before it to do well, and I combined all of them into one video. And all of this led to the video doing very well. You might have to experiment like this. Experiment with what you wrote down that your avatar values the most, what they're most fearful of, and make videos on those topics. Create videos one by one targeting these things, and then listen to what the algorithm tells you about it. If the video didn't do very well, it's likely that people just don't care about it. And if the video did better than your previous video, then you're on the right track. In your videos that do well, look for clues and then combine all of them in different ways. But this might not always be necessary because on that first channel, my idea was so good that all I needed to do really was to convey it as clearly as possible. After the title, we must create a thumbnail, and you get told that colourful, eye-catching thumbnails with less than 3 things in them do well. This is only a small percentage of what makes a thumbnail actually do well. Think about it, you've seen videos with thumbnails that should be crap that end up getting millions of views. And actually, by making a colourful, eye-catching thumbnail, if that's not right for your audience, you might end up putting people off that you actually want to watch your video. I personally don't click on colourful thumbnails that are clearly trying to draw me in for some superficial reason, and I'm sure that you don't do this either. You must think of the thumbnail in the context of your target audience. Go into your avatar's brain. What do they care about? For the video that blew up my first channel, the audience is gamers, specifically people that play the Bloons Tower Defense game. That means they're probably about 10 to 18 years of age. So in this case, a colourful thumbnail is a must. The next thing I added is something to invoke some sort of excitement in the avatar. The text on the top, round 67, suggests that someone's been playing the game for a long time and that the game that I made in the video is a fully fledged good game. And the character in the background of that thumbnail, the yellow one, is one of the most powerful towers that you can buy in that game. This makes it really intriguing for a viewer, and I understood the psychology of someone that might be playing that game because I used to play it as a child myself. However, the videos on this channel target a completely different type of audience, and a thumbnail like the one on my other channel would attract the complete wrong people and the video would flop. This particular thumbnail is just my face, yet that video did a lot better than all of my other videos. Why is that? The answer is that your thumbnails must reach a minimum standard for your avatar to click on them. After that, you can keep adding to it, but it doesn't make a difference. Adults don't click on something because it's colourful, so that wouldn't have worked here. But they also won't click on something that looks really unprofessional unless the title of that video is really appealing. That picture is appealing and clear enough for someone to be interested in taking a look at the video. This is because it doesn't look like other similar thumbnails that are typically taken with a bad camera in bad lighting. It looks a little bit more professional. It meets the minimum standard to qualify for a click. It also helps that there's a bit of a weird energy to it because it plays a bit with the psychology of the viewer. My face is quite overexposed in it and I have a bit of a weird facial expression, which is an enough to intrigue someone but not put them off. So, when making thumbnails, constantly keep this in mind. Is this thumbnail meeting the minimum standard to qualify for a click? What is my avatar thinking when looking at this thumbnail, especially in context with the title? Would my target viewer click on this video? Remember, it's almost impossible to give a thumbnail mass appeal. A 5-year-old is not going to click on the same thing that a 50-year-old would click on. So constantly keep your target viewer in mind. So we've covered the idea, title, and thumbnail, but what about the actual video itself? Again, you would have been told that in the intro you need a cut every second, every 2 seconds. In the next stages of the video you need a cut every 5 seconds, otherwise they'll lose interest. Then you need to surprise the viewer with something. This is all bullshit. You must think of the video in the context of the target audience and the expectations you're actually creating in the title and thumbnail. Let me explain. If there's a mismatch between the title and thumbnail and the content of the video, you're going to put people off. The video that did well on my first channel is targeting a younger demographic, so of course it needs those cuts every 2 seconds. Of course it needs to surprise them every once in a while. It's kids watching it, and the thumbnail and title creates the expectation that that's what that video is going to be. But if videos on this channel had that same style, it would take away from the message. It would put the very people off that I'm trying to target, which is people that actually want to make a difference and make a dent in the world. People that want to quit their 9-to-5s and make a living online. All hyper editing these videos would achieve is put a bunch of those people off and waste a bunch of my time and money. The simple portrait thumbnail on the video on this channel creates the expectation that it's going to be a talking head video. So if they click on the video because they've been intrigued by the title and see exactly what they expected, they're so much less likely to click off. So think carefully. What expectations are you creating, and are you matching those expectations? And this might be surprising to you, because if you've done everything right up until this point, the video will probably blow up anyway, no matter what the contents of it are. It doesn't really matter what you say or do at this point, as long as the video isn't absolutely terrible. People will stay because of the intriguing idea that drew them into your video in the first place, because they're gonna want to find out more about it and they're willing to wait for that. The idea makes people stay in your video just as much as the editing and content of the video itself. There is a minimum standard though, a minimum requirement. Your video must be easy to understand, make sense, and be clear. It's crazy how many people don't fulfill this requirement. Your video must be easy to understand by someone that doesn't speak English, and a 5-year-old should be able to follow it. Clarity in the video is incredibly important, and it's one of the biggest reasons that channels don't do well. But we don't just want to do the bare minimum. We don't just want views. We want to make a career out of this. To make your video excellent and to really solidify this, you must exceed the expectations that you created with the title and thumbnail. People are used to clicking on clickbait videos, but when you create a massive expectation and then over deliver on it, you're gonna have so many people love you and stay on your channel and want to keep watching you. Again, think of it in the context of your viewer. To fulfill this promise, what are they expecting from the video? On the video that blew up on my first channel, the expectation was a fully fledged game with that strong tower in it that's in the thumbnail. But I didn't deliver on the promise, because what I ended up with in that video is just a crap prototype of the game. Because of this, only 2% of the viewers of that video subscribed to my channel. However, on this channel's video, I did exceed the promise because the topic was explained clearly. People actually found the video useful, and I got hundreds of comments confirming this. And because of this, the rate of view to subscriber wasn't 2%, it was 4%. Literally double what that other video had. Think of it this way, the more value that you provide, the more likely people are to stay and actually become fans. But the value you provide depends entirely on what your target audience wants. The thing that caused me the most pain in my life is that nothing in my life was my choice. I went to university, got a 9-to-5 job, and did what I was told because that was what was forced down my throat. I was depressed and hid behind cheap pleasures like porn, junk, and games. My mission with this channel is to help you quit your 9-to-5 job, just like I did 2.5 years ago, and to live a free life. I'm building a community of people on this channel, and we're all doing this. We're freeing the world from so much pain together. We're all quitting our jobs, providing for our families better than the 9-to-5 ever could, and becoming irreplaceable. If you found this video useful, all I ask of you is to consider becoming a part of this community and clicking the subscribe button, sharing this video, and telling a friend about it. Help me so I can keep helping you. You fucking got this. You're gonna build the ultimate version of yourself. You're gonna quit your crap 9-to-5 job, change your life first, then you're gonna change the life of your family and fulfill all of your wildest dreams. You fucking got this, and I'm with you every step of the way. See you in the next one.